Yo, what is up guys, VPirate613 here, bringing you some gaming news on the Wench Catchers channel, where I recap any news that's been going on within the week, give my opinions on them, and also try to explain anything technical as well. Now, for the first news that we have is on GTA 6. So there were rumors that suggested GTA 6 was going to be set in Tokyo, and now sources confirmed that Rockstar was actually interested in making a GTA set in Tokyo, and they even went to Japan to scope out the area. But this idea was later scrapped because they had difficulties due to the change of moving setting from the US. Now GTA 6 is still in development, that comes to no surprise to anyone, but the game's not expected to come out anytime soon. Rockstar does take their time with GTA games, and they really should. They still haven't sorted out the location for the new game, but again, it's really very early on in the development stages. I'd really like to see a change in the setting though, somewhere that we really haven't seen or don't expect to see in the future, because I can't be the only one who tires of seeing the US on GTA games all the time. But at the same time, I hope to see some more information on GTA 6 in the next coming months. For the next topic though that we have is Hitman's Online offline save compatibility are not going to be fixed. The publisher said that they want Hitman to be a live game, therefore the offline and online save states are staying separate. Now I have really mixed feelings about this, because on one hand, people do have bugs where they get kicked out of the game and go to the main menu. Some, people's internets may drop and you can end up losing your save or just having to play offline because of internet issues. But on the other hand, the game was advertised as a live game and as an online game specifically. So as a consumer, you were made aware of this, and the game does want to focus on the live aspect. The developer wants to stick to his concept, so bear all this in mind if you do want to purchase the game and you do have issues with the internet, or you just don't like playing online. The game's still pretty good though, and the reviews for this game are quite good. It's definitely not a bad game. In fact, it's a very Hitman-esque game, especially if you're a fan of Blood Money, then you're definitely going to enjoy this game. So bear that in mind too if you want to buy this game. But moving on to the next news that we have is on a game called That Dragon. People have started to get content ID claims for their Let's Plays of the game on YouTube. The game designer has posted a statement in which he says, "We are asking that you return the favor by creating Let's Play videos that just don't rebroadcast the entirety of our content with minimal commentary, but instead use portions of our content as context to share your own stories and start conversations with your viewers. We encourage you to link to our site and directly encourage viewers to support our work financially through buying the game or donating $1 or $2 to our studio if they believe that's what we did has value. This small act will allow us to continue to work." Now, in terms of fair use, the publisher is well within their rights to take down Let's Plays. Its Let's Plays are not fair use, as you are showing the game in its entirety, even if you have commentary. Therefore, what's the point of buying the game if you can watch a Let's Play and not play? And the developer makes this point. YouTube also do not class Let's Plays as fair use unless you have permission from the owner, which a lot of gaming companies like Valve or Blizzard will simply give you an FAQ giving you permission and license to use their content on YouTube. And if you still don't believe that Let's Plays are against fair use and YouTube's policy, then you can do a quick Google search about YouTube and Let's Plays and be informed. YouTube also has an FAQ on gaming videos, so they are a good read, and in the past YouTube has taken down a lot of Let's Play channels, especially when they changed their policy on Let's Plays and gaming. So do go and read those, because Let's Plays in general do not comply within their policy. But obviously there are developers who don't really mind you Let's Playing a game, and not every developer or game publisher out there will have an FAQ, since it a lot of the times it does help them market and it gets people interested in the game. I think Let's Plays have really become such a culturally normal thing to do now on the YouTube community on YouTube channels, so it really becomes very easy for people's channels to get fucked over. So make sure you're aware of fair use and gaming content. Since fair use cases are only done on a case-to-case basis, it becomes very easy to stay in the grey area of YouTube with Let's Plays and a lot of gaming content in general, especially gameplay content. If you need more info, I suggest going to YT Talks. They have a whole section explaining fair use and gaming pretty well by people within the YouTube community, and we also have people who work in the gaming community, gaming developers, who give their insight on it as well over there. But moving on to the next news that we have is on Doom. We've been bombarded with a lot of Doom details. This week we're shown a trailer of the new demon mode power up within the multiplayer, which looks like it turns the game into evolve for a short time, and the gore is just insane. There's going to be 9 multiplayer maps, there may be more, but I'm pretty sure they're sticking to 9 maps for release, as well as 6 multiplayer modes. The trailer's really getting me hyped for the game, and I might actually buy it since it looks like a game to have good commentary playing over. So I'm not too sure. I might buy it or I might not, it depends. I don't really want to stick to Call of Duty all the time or CSGO, so we'll see. I'll put all the links down in the description though, so if you want a good detailed read on Doom, you can. The game's going to release on May the 13th with the closed beta running from March 31st to April the 1st. If you pre-ordered Wolfenstein The New Order, then you should be excited, as that's what you need to have done in the past to play the beta. Moving on to the next news though, Valve has released a computer-aided design geometry, or CAD for short, for their Steam controller. This allows you to modify the Steam controller if you are someone who's able to use CAD. But Valve has put this under the Creative Commons license, which means you will need to ask their permission to sell what you create, but anything you create can be used non-commercially. So basically you can use all your creations for your own benefit, since that's what Creative Commons allows you to do. That's pretty cool that they do this, because it just means that features that people don't like or think that they can do better can now be done and applied. And it also helps Valve to implement new features to their controller in the future with the help of the community. So I love this idea and I love it. I'm gonna sound like Adapt right now, but anyway, moving on to the next news. Quantum Break's PC graphic options have now been revealed. The minimum PC requirements to run the game ask for an i5 4460, a GTX 760, and 8GB of RAM. Pretty decent in my eyes, though I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to closely max it out on the 970, which is what I'm on. It's interesting to see that there's an option to lock 30 FPS or unlock it on the screenshot, though. This looks to me like the game may actually run at 60 FPS, and that's really good news. But the game's coming to the Windows Store, which has not been the best platform to be on for running games, since it doesn't support exclusive full screen and does lock games at 30 FPS. But looking at these settings, hopefully this is going to change now. The actual graphics options that should have been on screen do look thought out, and thank God we didn't just get a graphics preset option just for the graphic options. And thank God the developer did not make half-assed PC graphic options port. That would just be insanely stupid and insanely dumb, and it would piss me off. But moving on to the next news that we have is on Dark Souls. We just got a new trailer giving us more footage of the game. Now the game's already been released on consoles and in Japan. I'm pretty sure it's released now on all consoles within whatever region you're on, but it's going to be available to us PC players master race on April the 12th, so not long to go now. The graphics options also have been revealed for this game. I'll put it on screen for a quick peek. The options don't look all that detailed, but it is a big improvement from the previous PC port options, and we're finally getting key binding, so that's really great. I cannot wait for this game. It looks insane, and from the early reviews that I've watched, it has exceeded or kept up with viewer expectations, so that's really good. Since spoiler-free reviews are out now, I recommend watching some of them so you know exactly what type of game you should be expecting. But it looks all good, and I'm getting excited to get my hands on the game now. For the next news that we have though is Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 3 is going to debut this year. This is really exciting news, since I thought Season 2 was a finishing point, but in a recent interview, one of Telltale CEOs did indeed say that it's underway later this year. What's also interesting is that Telltale is trying to find a way to make the outcomes from the 2 previous games into the new games, which is very cool to see again, that they still want to keep a domino effect because of the choices from the previous games. Also, I think that's what they want to do. I'm glad they are continuing with their series, and I think Telltale really delivers with their games, so I have high hopes for the new season. The next news though is that Rise of the Tomb Raider's DLCs are going to conclude on March. The final DLC, Cold Darkness Awakened, is going to release on March 29th, and is going to cost you $10. The DLC is somehow introducing zombies or something, but there's going to be no need for the season pass now, so don't waste your money buying it. But for the next news that we have is the Binding of Isaac creator has now teased us with his up and coming game. It's now going to be called Legend of Bumbo or Bumbo. I'm not too sure the pronunciation. I think I got it right. But this time he is collaborating with James Id, who worked on the trailers for Binding, but now he is going to be in charge for handling programming and 3D with the people who did the audio for Binding, also returning for the audio for the new game. Bumbo is described as a turn-based puzzle RPG type thingy that is randomly generated. Obviously the description is a bit vague, and because the creator of Binding loves to mess with people, it's to be expected. But joking aside, Isaac is a very loved and popular game, so seeing more creations by this guy is good, showing us that he is actually wants to move on with his career, and that's all good. A lot of people really like this game. I think it might turn into a very cult classic or something, but we'll see 10 years down the line what it turns into. For the last piece of news though, to make me feel fucking old, Oblivion is now 10 years old. Jesus Christ, I really can't believe it's been that long. The game is my favorite Elder Scrolls game by far. I never played the Elder Scrolls game before Oblivion, but this is definitely my favorite one. Just remembering the amount of mods and hours I put into the game fills me with nostalgia again, and the DLCs were pretty great, minus that fucking whole horse DLC. And also what's sad about this news is, to me, watching Bethesda kind of deteriorate from their game quality over the years, especially in Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Their storylines too in the newer games didn't feel as interesting or as thought out. Level design I thought as well has gotten worse compared to the older installments. But that's all the news for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see daily content from us, then hit that sub button and help us grow. Leave any feedback or comments on the topics down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, guys.